Nicholas, thanks for joining us today. Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Nicolas. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Canada. I'm from the French-speaking part of Canada, which is Quebec. And I'm an exchange student in Bangkok for 2 trimesters. That's my last one.
2 trimesters.
Yeah.
Okay. So first, I'm going to ask you about culture. It might relate to Thai culture. So describe your culture shock experience and how do you overcome your experience?
When I first got here, I think the biggest culture shock I had was with the traffic. I've never seen this much traffic ever in my life, and just like the way, like I think it was the organization. You know, like people do not wait at red lights, and like you can cross the street whenever you want. So like I think it took me probably like a week to get used to it. Yeah, approximately more or less. Like just at first I was not comfortable to cross the street, and I was a bit shocked, but now it's totally okay.
Because no one parks for you when you like cross the the zebra line.
Oh yeah, no, you have to. You have to do it on your own. Yeah.
Okay, next. Do you consider Thai culture or Canadian culture to be more open, and what makes you think so?
You mean open like to foreigners, open to tourists?
Yeah, open to tourists.
I think Thai people are really open to tourists. Like probably like I'm not saying Canadian are closed to tourists, but like I think Thai are even more because like just the way like people smile all the time and like just the amount of hotels and stuff, people are extremely warm. People will invite you to eat at their place even though they don't know you. Like people are extremely like friendly. So I think Thai people are more open too.
Tell us about what Canadian people value the most compared to what you think Thais value most.
I think Thai people value family a lot. Like it's really like related about like the family. Like you guys will like live in your family until like you're an adult. Even if you have kids, you still stay in the same house. I think Canadians is more about the career. Like I left my parents' place. I was 18 years old, and that's totally normal for us. You just leave, you go study, then it's like to have a job and a nice career. So I think like exactly, totally individual. Like they really focus on the career more than the family. And I maybe call my mom every 2 weeks, and for some Thai people,
every day.
Yeah, Thai people like I mean more than once a day. Like when I say that, most people think it's weird actually that I just don't contact my parents that much.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah, like maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. It depends. Like, but not every day for sure.
Yeah, that's very different to Thai culture.
Yeah.
How does religion affect your culture?
So since I'm from Quebec, it's a really atheist province, so it doesn't affect much actually. We don't get married, really. We just like people have kids. No, not even that. Like I mean, I would say more than half of the people do not even get married. Like even like in the courthouse or anything. They just have kids.
Oh, okay.
And so it doesn't affect much. I mean, there's a Catholic background, but I mean, I don't think religion affects like. I mean, nothing compared like to Thailand.
Is it related to like new age? Like the French just moved to Canada. Do you think that?
Yeah, it's just like church used to oppress like French Canadians, so there was a detachment with religion. But like it's just I don't know because also it's really multicultural. So you have like a lot of Muslim people, Jewish people, Buddhist people, Hinduism. So I guess this melting pot like makes this in a way like there's an absence of like religion.
Okay. And the next part of the interview will be about people.
Yeah.
Okay. So do people from your culture tend to do things alone or in groups?
Alone, definitely.
Alone?
Yeah.
So
like,
more individualistic?
Yeah, like let's say parents will, encourage their kid to like go travel alone, to go live by themselves, to cook by themselves, to do everything by themselves. Because I feel here it's more like group. Whenever Thai people travel, they will travel like in a group. Biggest as possible, actually.
Yeah. And next, is there a certain way to address someone or a certain gesture to someone who is gender, age, wealth, or status difference?
Okay, so in French we have 2 ways of saying you. You have you for a single person and you for a group. When I will talk to someone older than me, I will use the you as a group, which is vous. So even though it's only one person, that's like the way of being polite. So the second the person is older than me, I need to use this pronoun. Unless the person allows me to use like the tu, which is like the you for one person. But yeah, we have to use like this kind of like I just change my words if I talk to someone older. Yeah,
that's cool. So what's the proper way to say you again? You said.
So the formal way is vous, but the informal way is tu. So I will say tu to my friends. However, if I speak to a teacher, to like an elderly person, I will say vous.
Oh, okay. That's really similar to Thai though. Like
Yeah?
kun and
Yeah.
yeah, and moon.
Exactly. And Hmong, you don't say Hmong to a teacher, right?
Yeah, no. Oh no. Okay, and next is the study environment, like
Yeah.
Canada versus Thailand. So what do you think about the study environment? How active are the students in class in comparison with the study environment in Thailand?
It's really more strict in Canada. Like you cannot be late at all. Like so, a lot of teachers like let's say the class starts at 10, a lot of teachers will lock the door at 10. So if you're late, you cannot even come in. And if you text during the class, like the teacher will just ask you to leave and not coming back. And yeah, also you're not allowed to talk. Like I mean, it's just. I mean, the teachers do not really do anything because people do not usually do it, you know, because they know it's not like well seen to talk during class or text or whatever. And
It's
like
not
I said, it's
normal
like,
for you guys to like play with the phone all the time anyway, right?
it is just outside the class.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
And if you do it, because I hear people like you know will really like be like this in front of the teacher.
Yeah.
Like if people do it back home, they will kind of hide it.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they won't make it obvious.
Yeah, people here sit in the front row and
And they just play with their phones, and you
Yeah.
can like be 20 minutes late. Because to me, it's
Yeah.
like really like impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more like
I'm not used to
not
this.
very punctual.
Exactly.
So next is communication.
Yeah.
So have you experienced miscommunication among your Thai friends due to language barrier?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, a lot actually. I mean, like in Mahidol, I feel like the level of English between students really varied a lot. So sometimes, yeah, I had like you know members in some group project that like could not really speak English that well, so it was hard. It was hard sometimes to communicate. Yeah. Just like I ask for something and they understand something else.
Yeah.
So also like whenever like we submit a paper, like I kind of have to read again just to be sure like if the English is okay. So yeah, there's some problems sometimes with the
Yeah.
students. Nothing big, but it's still there. Like there's still like, something.
Okay, next, how important are eye-to-eye conversations in your culture? Like to stare someone into the eye?
It's really important. Otherwise, I think it's rude if I talk to you like that. It's not really polite.
Yeah.
So yeah, you need to like look eye to eye. Yeah.
Because in my opinion, like here, maybe some people are like, you know, shy or something, so they stray away from eye contact.
Okay.
But they don't necessarily mean that they're insincere.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for us also some people are shy, but like it's not well seen to do it. You know, people will encourage you to just like look at the eyes when you're like,
More
talking to someone.
extroverted, I think your culture might be.
Probably, yeah.
And next is family aspect. In your opinion, what is the hierarchy of authority in a family? Like the dad has the most authority, or
In most, I would say it's probably the mom sometimes in like
Mom.
French Canadian culture. Like you listen to your mom. If the mom says something, because like nowadays, like you know, moms and dad they make pretty much the same salary and like. So I don't like just me personally. I don't see any difference between my mom and my dad when it comes to authority. Like
Yeah.
they both have the same kind of power.
Equality.
So yeah.
feminism.
Exactly. Yeah.
And in your opinion, what are the rights and responsibilities of each family member? Do children have an obligation to work or help the family, suppose if they've graduated? Or
It will depend on the situation of the family. So, like, if you know, if you're from a lower income family, I guess some parents might ask something back, but usually no. Usually, it's like whenever you leave the house, you're on your own, and you can do whatever you want. Yeah,
Okay.
there's not much obligation. Like, usually, I don't know much people. Like, you can study whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, and yeah. So,
Thank you for joining us today. Hope
you're
you had
welcome.
fun.
Thank you. Good luck, guys.